This is the KitchensinkWP Podcast, episode 364.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster.
We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the KitchensinkWP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events, we have a WordPress Mega Meetup, the Performance/Elementor episode. That's going to be hosted by David Bisett and Gene GZF. It's over on Meetup. I don't know Gene's last name. It's Thursday, February 18th, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It should be a lot of fun. It's a big meetup. It's all virtual and via Zoom. Check it out. I was on one of their meetups a few months ago. So I had a lot of fun. It's Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's pretty cool. Check that out. What else? That's it for upcoming events. And yeah, moving on, segment 1 in the news. A couple things here. WordPress 5.7 Beta 2 is out. The current target release is March 9th. Still on target for that. It's 4 weeks away. Kind of crazy. Of course, go ahead and try it out. Test things. Don't use it on a live site. What else? Version 9.9 of Gutenberg plugin is out. It's 99th release. A whole bunch of new things, new custom colors with social icons, a new modal called Preferences for Options modal, automatic dark mode, some bug fixes, etc. Check that out if you want to be in the latest version of Gutenberg versus what is inside of WordPress core. And lastly, WooCommerce 5.0 has been released. A lot of bug fixes there. The product review count is fixed. Some legacy reports have been deprecated. And some CSS variables have been added to the style sheet. Pretty cool. Yeah, check those out. Those are the newsworthy items this week. So moving on to the meat potatoes of this week's episode. But first, I want to thank our sponsor. This week's episode is sponsored by cPanel and their service WP Toolkit. Now, WP Toolkit includes everything you need to take control of your WordPress websites. From customizable installations to intuitive management of backups, themes, plugins, and passwords, WP Toolkit is ideal for anyone who manages multiple WordPress websites. Need to create predefined theme and plugin sets that can be used to auto-configure brand new WordPress installs? With one click, WP Toolkit by cPanel can do this, and it's a huge time saver. Trust me on this. It's awesome. Need to run updates? Well, again, WP Toolkit easily allows you to put your sites into maintenance mode and display a custom message to your visitors while you do various tasks like backups, restores, or debugging. It's all included. And did I mention there's no limit to the number of WordPress websites you can manage with WP Toolkit? Very cool indeed. So when you're looking for the most complete, secure, and versatile toolkit for WordPress, head over to cpanel.net/WP Toolkit to learn more. And thanks again to cPanel for sponsoring this week's episode. Moving on to segment 2, the meat potatoes. Shifting or changing your career path is this week's topic. And for longtime listeners, some may recall that I've spoken about this before. I looked it up back on episode 119, which was June 6th, 2016. Is the last time I did talk about this, about 4.5 years ago. Pretty crazy. And in preparing for this episode, I actually went back and looked at the notes, and I listened to the episode as well, which was interesting because that topic there was it's the same but a little different, as I helped a colleague of mine figure out his next moves. I coached him through his decisions of what he had to do. And it's timely as I'm making a slight shift myself, but more on that in a few minutes. Okay. So with that, here are 5 reasons that you may consider changing your career path. You may stay within WordPress. You may leave altogether. I'm not trying to get rid of you by any means. I want to have you here forever. But some things to consider. Okay. Number 1, your body is telling you enough is enough. So what I mean by that is, are you mentally and physically exhausted like all the time? Do you have like that Sunday night dread? You don't look forward at all to Monday. When you wake up on Monday, you wake up with the headache, the tight neck. You struggle to concentrate from the get-go. Yeah, it might be time to evaluate what you're doing. Physical ailments that come out of, in a sense, nowhere are a real thing. It's connected to your brain and your mindset, your mental health. You need to pay attention to that. I've been there. We get so stressed, you get behind on work, and it just... the stress begets more stress. You're further behind, and it becomes to a point for me in the past where I just physically can't be at my computer. My shoulders and my neck might hurt so bad that I have to take a break. And taking that break adds stress. What do you do? It's a tough place to be. So if your body keeps telling you this, you need a break, you might need to change. Okay. Number 2, procrastination on the mundane. Now, I'm, again, guilty of this. I'll put something off till tomorrow rather than just simply do it. And the silliest thing is I'll put off the silly, easy things like putting together what's going to pay me, a proposal for that matter. Just that mundane aspect of putting together a proposal, for some reason, I just don't want to do it. It's telling me that I need a break, a vacation, burnout, because if I do a proposal and it gets accepted in my mind, then there's more work. And then it's that vicious cycle. Do I have the time? Do I want this job? Do I need that money? Am I just here for the money? All those little things, right? So procrastination on the mundane is another sign, another reason you might want to change things up. Number 3, you're jealous of your friends or family's jobs. Now, feeling jealousy towards a job of a friend or family is okay. It's a signal that you want something else, maybe even somewhere else. And rather than just tossing that idea out of the window as a bad thing, maybe think about it for a minute. Analyze it. Why do you feel that way? Is the job role that you're jealous of based on the company culture that they work for versus where you work? It could be. Is the flexibility of their role or the creativity that they have versus what you do the key? Maybe. So when you think about it, be honest with yourself. Why are you jealous of someone else's job? Because that saying, the grass is always greener, is a very true thing. Like you leave job A to take a place at job B or company A to company B, and it's not all that great. So what is it exactly that you're jealous of? And kind of maybe analyze that. Take a moment to analyze that. Number 4, boredom. Though you may be really good at what you do, you just might be bored. When you have a job that you're just bored at, you might be good at it, but it's just really boring. Mundane, again, is that word I use often. Or you're just maybe copying and pasting content or installing the same plugins over and over again. If you're bored, it's not fun, and you might need something different, obviously. Now, having an exciting every moment of the day lifestyle isn't standard or isn't going to be a real thing here, where people can't just always be exciting in their job necessarily. But being bored could lead to depression and sadness. So if you're really bored and having that dread-like feeling, it's time to look and maybe make that change. And the last one here, number 5, you dream of a different career. Now, if you sit at your desk and you Google jobs a lot and you bookmark interesting companies that you think you might want to work for versus doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's a sign that you need a different job, okay? It's simple, really. When you start looking all the time, if you're spending more time looking for a job than doing your job, well, that's kind of telling if I do say so myself. Okay, so those are the 5. Now, how do you find your next thing? I want to give some advice here. I would say start with the one thing, as in like the book. It's a great book to read. I've recommended it before. I've bought it for people. Figure out what is your one thing. What inspires you? What intrigues you? What excites you? Okay. And then you can reach out to your network, your community, companies that you've saved the bookmarks, LinkedIn, Twitter. Share with certain people that you're open, that you're looking. Make yourself available. If no one knows you're looking, then no one's going to offer you anything. So you have to share. You have to communicate what you're looking for. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, the timing of this episode is interesting, along with the topic, as this episode marks 7 years of producing this podcast each week, and I have not yet missed a week, so I'm pretty happy about that. That then leads to the question, am I leaving WordPress? No, I'm not leaving WordPress. I still have the agency, and I still really enjoy doing it at times. Not every moment is exciting, but I still enjoy it. But what I'm doing is launching something concurrently because I think I can tie the two things together really well. For those who don't know, I've been mentoring and coaching people from different outlets over many years now, unofficially, through the Chamber of Commerce, through some launch programs, and even through my university, my alma mater. So with that, and with the encouragement of my business mastermind that I was in last year, I've rebuilt and I'm relaunching a coaching service and making it official. It's going to be over at adamsilver.com, and it's going to help people get unstuck and get their side hustles up and running online because I have the knowledge. And for people who may not want to hire me in my agency because it's cost prohibitive and they want to do it themselves, but they need accountability and coaching, they can do that. So that is my next shift, slowly but surely. I want to do more coaching. I still want to keep my hand and my foot in the pool of WordPress development. It makes me relevant, but so I'm not leaving anytime soon. You can't get rid of me just like that. But there you go. 7 years in of the podcast, and I'm making the coaching official. And there you go, adamsilver.com. That's where that will be at. So if you know anybody who needs coaching or accountability, you know where to go. All right, that is it for this week's segment 2. And moving on to segment 3, tip and tool of the week. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cool. Plausible. It's a simple and privacy-friendly alternative to Google Analytics. I don't know how I found out about this one, but not everybody likes Google or there's some of their tools because it's free. And if it's free, then you're the product. They're selling your data is the theory. So Plausible.io is a simple and privacy-friendly alternative to Google Analytics. Open source web analytics tool, no cookies, fully compliant with GDPR, CCPA, and PECR. It's made and hosted in the EU. There is a free trial and there's pricing as well. It's like for 10,000 monthly page views, $6 a month. I have no connection to them. I don't know how I found out about them. Pretty cool though. So check them out over at plausible.io. All right. That is it for this week. Let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon like cPanel did. Thanks again for them for sponsoring. That's for sponsoring. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye. P.S. If you're still listening, as this is my 7th year, how about going out and sharing this with 7 people? Or going out and leaving a review on iTunes? I don't really ask that often, so that'd be cool. Happy birthday to my 7 years of podcasting. Just kind of share this with 7 people that you might know who might like my episodes, my podcast. Thanks.